It's a good thing we always make sure we're not live. Sometimes we have conversations.
Those pregame ones are the best.
Oh, and look, I'm putting
I squish your head.
Yeah, right. And I even screwed up. I had to use Laura there a moment ago. I haven't seen Laura. I don't know. She might be here now.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Yeah, hi. We're here at Progressive Auto Sales Arena here to talk about a hockey game, some Sting hockey. And London Knights in town here. And, I don't know how many times do you get asked, what's your prediction? But, like, when I get here, I walk in the door. I got to come through the media door, sign in. I got to walk by a bunch of people, and I always get stopped by one or two. What's your prediction? What's your prediction? And then you come here and you set up, and then I go upstairs. This is my routine, right? And then we get up in the media booth, and, of course, we're all talking about hockey and sports, and some of them are talking about golf.
Sure.
Right? And it's always, any predictions? Nope. I just can't do that anymore because I've been calling it the stock market team, right? It's kind of up and down and no consistency.
Well, and you know what? My answer is a little more easy than that, even than that. My answer is Sting are going to win.
Right. Right.
Why
wouldn't I say that? I'm sorry.
I'm just, I'm an optimist, and truthfully, on any given day, you and I have seen some pretty crazy games over the years.
Especially this year.
Yeah, especially this year. So who knows,
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
We're kicking the snot out of some of the top teams, and we're losing our shirt to some of the bottom teams.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
And then we play somebody. Well, the conversation upstairs, I will tell you, was, we're playing London tonight, and every time so far this season we've played them, we have won.
Yes.
That being said, London has been playing very, very well.
Correct.
Although they're short-handed a bit tonight, missing some key players in there as well. So,
as are we. So,
that's not a horrible place to be for us at the same time. But I want to talk about the starting lineups here. So, Nemesnikov, who's somebody that we've had a lot of conversation about, and you just haven't really been impressed by him. At least you had higher expectations.
It's about expectations. Right. It's about my expectations.
Right.
This is nothing against.
It's all about Jay Peckham.
Max Nemesnikov. This is my expectations. When he first came in, there was lots of hype and lots of talk about.
It really was
the skill set of this guy, and truthfully, I know he's got the skill set. I've seen, flashes of things, but, he just has not seemed to play up to what I was expecting.
We did see a little bit more of him in the last game, which is probably the most we've seen, but.
Yep.
I agree. I was, just from conversations
I'd love him to turn it around because I think he's got the ability to do that.
All right, well, we'll see, because he's lined up with Hill and Seakick here tonight. Those are two that you've been very excited about playing on the same line together.
Yeah, you know what? I think Hill and Felak have had probably the most productive combination going forward. But I did see Theo playing with Marco in the last game, and frankly, I was liking what I saw there too.
Yeah.
I think Seakick got a goal out of the deal, and it was a pretty, this is one of those textbook kind of things.
It was pretty.
It was a very nice goal, and I think when you've got somebody who can set it up and somebody who can deliver at home, that's a good combination any way you look at it. And I know Hill and Felak have had that. In spades in the past.
Yeah.
But this is not necessarily a bad combination.
And Theo Hill notably named the OHL Player of the Week.
Yeah, and absolutely.
9 assists from this guy. He's completely an unselfish player, including that last goal we saw, that was Seakick that he very unselfish plays by Theo Hill. And he is the previous OHL Player of the Week from the Sarnia Sting was Jordan Kyrou in 2018.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
That really speaks a lot to what Theo Hill has brought to this team, what we see him continue to bring this team. And if you watch some of the post-game press conferences that we do, he's a leadership on this team as well. there's something to be said for an unselfish leader, right? It's not about
absolutely.
me and passing the puck, I guess.
And
really.
I think in the absence of leadership, he has stepped up quite well. I like the way Theo Hill plays. I'm sure I'm going to continue to like the way
All right,
Theo Hill
Sarnia
plays.
Sting out there practicing right now, but we want to continue on. We got Burke, Voigt, and Dan. It's a great combination in there too.
That's an interesting combination because we haven't really seen that too often. In that case, again, Voigt, he's another one like Nemestikov. I think I really expect more from him, and I just need him shooting the puck. Shooting the puck or setting people up, and truthfully, he's fairly good at setting people up, which is good. But I think he's a better striker than he is a setup man, because I think honestly his biggest downfall at the moment is he stays on the puck just that little bit too much. It's always just that fraction too much.
Crosses the line too much.
And then
holds on.
And then he gets pushed off the puck, and it results in turnovers. If he can find a way to get rid of it.
We talked a lot about the turnovers last game, and interesting, Coach Letang, last post-game press conference, talked about the turnovers again. And
see, me and Alan Letang were like this.
Sure.
We're vibing on the same wavelength, and I love that.
I'm going to make sure he gets the link to this tonight. I'm going to text him after the game and say,
we're like
Tagger,
this.
I need you to do me a favor and watch this.
100%.
That's awesome. All right, and then carrying on, McDonnell, Felak, and McIntyre, and then we'll see Volkelsberg and Harper in there.
And then let's talk a little bit about Angus McDonnell, because you know what? The truth is, one of the things I like that he brings to his line right now is that urgency. He seems to be one of those players that he's going to go after it, whether you like it or not. Like he's in there like a dirty shirt, and I like that. That's something that I think the Sting needs more of, is that ability to get to the puck. And McDonnell's really done a pretty terrific job, and for him to be, sort of in there. Ryder McIntyre, I'm still a bit on the fence about him. I don't necessarily have an opinion at this point.
Right.
I mean, he's had good moments and not some good moments. I think I'm just on the fence with that lineup. It might be nice to see a little more from him.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens when we get
Felak in there. We're bound to see something
definitely
more
for sure
out of those guys.
And then Ben Gaudreau starting between the pipes tonight for the Sarnia Sting. Yeah, nice to see him in there. And I don't, Anson Thornton, I got to tell you, when he has been in there for us, he has been in there.
Yeah.
And like we saw a couple of games where it was just, how did he make that move? I don't know how he just did that, but he did. Although we keep hearing, even from Coach Letang, can't keep relying on those goalies for us to win these games.
No.
Or even get close to winning those games that we've had some close calls there that we didn't quite come out on top. But then that goalie that we rely on all the time gets really tired, and you can only get beat up so much.
Yeah, I agree. And that comes down to your defensive pairings and who's in there. And frankly, some of our guys, they're just not doing what they need to do. They're trying to accomplish too much, or they see themselves in a different role on the ice. I don't know what it is, but as soon as our defense is a little bit out of place, we have a problem. And the other thing is, we got to stop crashing in on our goaltender. Because it's bad enough
screening them. Quite honestly,
it's bad enough that these teams are putting people in the blue paint. But to add one more or two more Sarnia Sting players in that blue paint, you're not giving your goaltender any opportunity to actually make a save, because it's.
And then that hurts in the long run.
And 100% it does.
For sure. All right, well, we'll see what happens out there tonight, as we are about 16 minutes away from the Sarnia Sting, getting ready to take on the London Knights. We always see This is not a slouch night, that's for sure. I like to say you got to keep the vertical pedal on the right down to the floor. And the Sarnia Sting come out here.
I'm predicting a win.
I'm predicting a win too, as Jay Peckham said. Wow. If you predict a win every time, sooner or later you're going to look good.
Absolutely. You got a 50-50 chance of being right.
And again, with London being short some key players, that may be advantageous to the Sarnia Sting. But at the same time, while the Sting knows that they're short some players, London Knights know that they're short some players as well.
Fair
that
enough.
could be motivation to go, okay, we know what it's like to come out and play the Sting. That being said,
and the truth is, Hunter hockey, they tend to be deep anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Hunters, they fill out their lines. They're always deep on talent.
That's right.
So don't count out their third and fourth.
Not
lines.
a team you want to get complacent against at all.
Not at
now,
all.
in the other thing, Coach Letang has said this, so this is nothing I'm creating here. He said the Sarnia Sting have also somewhat become a bit of a predictable team, knowing that if you go down to Sarnia, he said it last post-game conference very clearly. I was quite surprised. If you go to people talk around the league.
Yep.
And he said, and they talk and they go, you know what? You go down to Sarnia Sting and you take out so and so and so and so, or work hard on, Voight and the Hills and the blah, 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 blah. You're going to get a couple of goals from the start out in the first period.
Yep.
And that's how you wear down Sarnia. That's what we've seen out there.
Sure we
and
have.
There's another example of Coach Letang just says it like it really is. There's no point in saying, that was too bad or whatever.
And
right?
you're right. You can't be predictable in this game. Like that's what I said.
And you've talked about that many times.
You got to be able to adapt. You got to change. It's nice to have those plays that you can count on, but don't count on them too much because otherwise they do become predictable.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden you got guys picking you off in the middle of one of those plays, and it's never good. Turn over.
We need to see this happen tonight for the Sarnia Sting, getting to a critical point here in this part of the season. I even heard guys talking about golf. Can you believe that? Come on. Let's get through this first. I don't
100%.
golf. Do you golf?
I'm not sure. I have been known to take a stick and chase a little white ball around a nice green grass, but
I go left, I go right.
I don't know if you can call it golf.
Yeah, I just start at the 19th hole and I'll meet you there when you're All right, well, Sarnia Sting, again, ready to take on the London Knights here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. We'll be back at the end of first period intermission. Hopefully, Jay Peckham walks up to me with a smile on his face. I can see a smile through the mask. I don't care what you say. So, or he walks up quietly and I'm like, oh boy.
Head hanging.
He's going to talk about the referees again. All right. Keep watching, everybody. We'll be back, hopefully with positive remarks, and we'll see you then. I'm David Burrows on behalf of my friend Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!